159?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Review the minutes, the updated minutes from May 15th. Everyone get a chance to read them. They came out today or yesterday.
I think this morning I sent the revised ones.
The revised one, okay.
So I left Paul on because technically he was
was
a
there.
board member, so,
Yeah.
and he made some
Right,
motions and
correct,
stuff.
yeah.
And I had never seen that name before, so. Raymondo?
Raimondo.
Okay.
Ramon.
Oh,
Hey.
Yeah, oh, okay.
So just so you know, we are being recorded, all the meetings, no, you don't have to be quiet. It says all the meetings now within the town, just like everything else.
Why don't you sit next to me and then you'll be on camera?
Who's probably on camera anyway.
nobody
Yeah,
wants to
back
see
is-
him. I don't want to see him until he shows up with trail crew again.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, you're carrying 6 tools up the hill.
I think I sent them to
You
everybody.
can make up for
No,
lost
I-
time.
I
think
saw,
so.
I'm just trying to
Oh.
pull up on my phone.
Okay,
You did.
Okay.
Over there.
and then, the other change Craig asked,
Oh, yeah.
or noted for the, trail work and, what was the other thing? Oh, the locking of the gates. So I did move or change them. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I move we accept the minutes from the last meeting.
All those in favor?
No, we need a second.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay,
yeah. There's a second.
okay,
That's for the minutes as amended.
As amended, yes.
Right.
okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm good.
Hey.
You have to be over here now. Because we're being recorded,
Oh,
just like all the meetings in the town now.
You just slide this over, he can
Yeah.
sit right there.
it's all right, live there.
Okay.
You shouldn't have planted that last tree.
Oh, no, it was the power outage today.
Oh,
Had to open the garage door.
Oh, that's always fun.
It did flash just for a second.
Was up for 3 hours at my place.
Oh, really? Wow. We just had a flash.
We didn't have any.
Really? I was gone, so I didn't even
Huh.
notice it.
Okay, I was gonna make copies of the donation report, but I wasn't able to. But I'll send you.
Okay.
Okay. So, on the donation report, we had, on the general fund side, a water donation from Heather Davis, $10 came in, okay. And then on the trails fund side,
Oh, did you get the check for Deborah Larson for $100? It was in the cash box.
still in the cash.
oh, it's still in the cash box, so, okay. all right.
And it's made out to NRB Gardens.
Where's the cash box at?
I can,
You have it, okay.
in the trustworthy hands of Craig.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll get it all together when
Yeah.
do the trails and all that. So then, Craig, had 2 items. He bought tools, the hoe, the rake, and the stain. Came to $317.85. And the crop circle signs for the no pets, $151.02. And as we discussed, I'm gonna say 3 meetings ago, another tent for the garage sale. And that's that 16-foot by 32-foot tent. And it comes in 5 packages, and they delivered 3 of them yesterday. But the manufacturer emailed me and said, they come in 5, but they might not all come at the same time. And last year, they all came at the same time, and yesterday I got the first 3, and I'm sure today the other 2 will come before Monday. With that said, on the general fund side, a total of $7,059.26 today. And on the trail side, total of $24,920.80, for a grand total of $31,980.06.
Okay, I move we approve, unless you need to discuss more things.
Any discussion? Anything? Second, somewhere? Oh, a second?
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're gonna talk more about this number here when we're talking about the garage sale. Do you wanna give your report, Deborah?
Sure. I just gotta pull it up. I apologize for no copies. I was gonna get it,
Well, I made a copy, but
but
You can
I,
use
I
This
couldn't
one?
make copies.
okay.
Or is it the same?
You wanna read it from here?
Oh.
A lot better.
Okay, thank you.
Well, unless you have it there.
Well, she has it. It's the only, do you need it?
But yours is organized really cool.
Oh, well,
Okay, so, beginning with the community gardens, all the tanks are finally occupied. We had some people leave, some people very oddly, just not, they paid for their tank but never
they're
showed.
not planting?
And when I contacted them, I didn't hear back, so I don't know if they're gone. We've had one tank adopted and a couple of extra tanks that people have asked for and are doing. So all the tanks are going. The garden tanks in the middle, unsupervised, they're planted with onions, they look really good. The other 2 tanks are planted with flowers for local interest, they're looking good. So there's nothing much to say about the community gardens. Well, I do have some things to say about it, but on down. Landscape and parks, the conifer grove, trees were treated for pests. The fertilizer treatment, I was never able to get Zach to let me know if they had an auger that we could use, so I just emailed Rusty and I never got anything back, so I assume that's kind of out.
An auger
Still
from
to be
who?
done. He needs a small auger to drill down by the side of the trees in order to fertilize. And Craig's auger too big. I emailed Trevor. He said, tell Zach. I didn't get back to Zach, so I don't know. I emailed
I don't think
Rusty,
they have
and
something
maybe
that
we
small.
buy one, just because.
As far as I know, the town's only augers are big
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we just buy, I used to use an auger with one of Larry's power drills for flowers, about this big around, and I don't know how much it costs, but maybe we just buy one and have it because we have to maintain those trees going forward.
Is that, they're only like this, because we have 2 of them
Do
at
you
home.
have, I don't think it's very deep. He didn't say it needed a deep hole, it just needs to be down by the base of the tree. So I'll contact him again and let you know.
Okay. If we need, like I said, we have 2 of them, so.
You do at your house,
Yeah.
okay,
so
great.
we can use those.
So on number 3, moving on to the paths in the area, that little short Fox Run path, you know, that was mowed by the conifer grove on the east side, and it was mowed around down the valley, down the alley where the aspen and conifer and around back. But nothing was done for the weed behavior. And after 3 or 4 emails to the vendor, I don't know, several calls, I haven't heard anything. So I want to talk more about that in the recommendations. The main entrance revision, we have to decide on that, and that's in July. And we all know 12 trees planted for Arbor Day, and we're going to sign up today for a watering schedule till the middle of August for that. So going forward, the recommendations. That berm, so we either have to fish or cut bait on that berm. We either have to get rid of the weeds and suck it up, because some stuff's gonna be lost when we get rid of the weeds, some native things and whatever, or we just leave it and let it look like that and mow around it. There's no good solution. And Joanne's been down there weeding, trying to get rid of things that were getting ready to flower. But it needs, as a group, we have to decide what to do about that.
Okay, now which berm are we?
It's the northwest one by the back northwest corner of the garden circles, the one we always talk
Okay.
about.
That's not the big berm.
No, that's the BLM stuff, that we have no, that's not our
Okay.
bailiwick. But this berm is a constant state of discussion about what to do. And I thought,
Go ahead.
well, I thought we had decided with Dave, remember when we
Yeah,
met
when
with Trevor,
we met
what
with
we were
him.
gonna do. And we had a plan, and I don't know what, it just went up into the,
Well, the only thing that hasn't happened is the spot spraying of the weeds, right? And we were gonna replant some, look at what we could plant in there and build a pathway up around that rock.
yeah, but until, I think, until we get rid of the weeds, we can't logically build a pathway or put in plants. It's just, it's a mess. And even though we've made some headway, it looks like all the other sagebrush, brushy brush things that get, I don't know what you call those bushes that get the tent caterpillars on them all the time. It looks like the rest of that environment. So I kind of don't want to fall on my sword on this. We just have to make a decision about it. And then we have to find somebody to do it and get it done so that we can go forward with planting native plants. We were gonna put some, I thought we talked about like yuccas and different kind of native plants that look nice that would be of interest to people walking around that path. And I'm still kind of in favor of that, but,
There's no water there, right?
oh yeah, there's water, and that's
And the-
it. There's water for the 2 trees that we planted.
Oh, yeah.
And the apple trees, but if the grass grows up, you can hardly get to them. So, but that's kind of separate. That guy, Dave, is supposed to be taking care of the grass and the mowing.
Did that get mowed? I don't know.
He did mow it, and
It
we
did get
needed
mowed
it.
once.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was part of his job, was to do that, wasn't it,
Yeah,
Victor?
that's correct.
And
Some,
So I think we don't give up. I don't want to give up. I would like to see us keep the snowberry and the native plants that are in there as a base, and then spot, if we can spot,
Trees.
spray some of the bad weeds that are in there.
are those the broadleaf, what's in there?
they're broadleaf.
Alfalfa.
Alfalfa, kind of clover type plants, but in order for it to look decent, we're gonna have to sacrifice some grasses and stuff that are in there. The grasses are gonna get,
Well,
Are gonna get what? I don't understand.
Too tall?
they're too tall and they overrun, and
Okay.
and if we are gonna spot spray for weeds, we have to be willing to spot spray appropriately so that we can accomplish our goal. I'm not willing to necessarily give up, but I gotta be frank, I'm sick of talking about it. Because we never seem to get to a decision and get it done. And so, at this point, I'm willing to have whatever the group decides, I'll go along with.
We could have, and we can't really replant yet because because Dave didn't do his part.
He didn't do his part, and he told me on one of his myriad numbers of, when I got him, that what he would spray would be, and it sounded like, what is the stuff that you can't plant? Is it 2,4-D that if you spray it, then you can't plant in it, or toward?
Because it wipes everything
Because
out.
it really stays in the soil
It
for
stays
a
in the
while.
soil for a while.
I personally think we need to call him and say what's going on, get some clarification, and then maybe in August, discuss this, unless we can get him sooner than that, but.
Maybe he needs a man to call him.
I called him.
We did?
Yeah, Victor
Oh.
did call him, and,
But then, 2 days later, all of a sudden he showed up and mowed.
showed up and
But he
mowed.
never returned my call or
No,
something,
he
just
did,
figured
and
everyone was
I've
bugging
been
him.
documenting everything from him, and, I don't know what the deal is with them. Maybe something's happened. I heard through the didn't you tell me that, or somebody said that he was over by their house?
He
Yeah.
was by our house.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs another call.
Can
To
we spot spray it, just like?
I
we
was
do the
just gonna
garden?
say, maybe
Can you use your Roundup on that? More
it'd probably more
concentrated?
than, no,
Well,
I think it'd be more than Roundup.
I think you'd need a combination of Roundup and another, something, and we can
gonna have
find
to
out
be-
about that. And yes, we can do it. It's not within our
If it's the
inability.
weeds I'm thinking about, it's gonna need like the 2,4-D.
Yeah, 2,4-D maybe.
But then you
Really?
can't plant this year,
See, yeah,
or for a while.
Well, no, but if we could get rid of the weeds, then next spring, we could really pursue a little path and some plants that would be nice in there. I think it's a good opportunity, but
okay.
them weeds have gotta go.
Let's continue with him,
Okay.
But in July, if he hasn't done it by then, like July 1st is a Tuesday,
Then we'll do,
and
then,
I'll go, you and I'll go and mix them up and we'll
Okay.
go spot spray.
okay, and I can. That's a good, I think that's a good idea myself. It's a solution.
It's a step in the right direction.
It'll help.
Another step?
Another step. And I have to tell you that
The
Joe,
places that we really focused on getting rid of weeds last year has paid off. I mean, it's looking much better. Just the general area is looking much better than it did last year at this time,
oh, it was just terrible.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's gonna take 3
Keep
years
plugging
probably
away,
of
yeah.
spraying it.
If you walk down to the end of the runway and you go into where the creek is and there's a little path, OMG, you should see the leafy spurge in there. It's just thick. And whose bailiwick is that little stretch? Does it belong to the town, BLM?
Stewart's?
probably
Stewart.
Stewart.
Oh, it's just outrageous in there, but anyway. That's just, I've been
Well, it's
walking
kind of
it.
a general problem in the town. I mean, we were talking about a lot the other day that's over on the third, what hole is that? The end of the second hole, on the green, there is a lot to the left that's just covered in thistle right now.
No, we were talking, like that lot was bought 2 years ago, and then they came in and they cleared the lot, they flattened it out, and it's like, do not enter
Yeah.
over a year, but now it's all the bad weeds have come in as they
Yeah,
disturb the
because
soil.
they got the dirt stirred up, so.
Yeah.
And so-
Does it have a no trespassing sign? See, our ordinance doesn't allow us to go treat it.
So
If-
is there
if-
so is there something, maybe thinking proactively in the future with D and Z or whatever it's called now, about people who are buying lots, which is fine, are gonna develop lots, which is fine, but then, like, developing a lot partially that steers everything up, and now all those lots next to them are being exposed to all those exotic weeds.
Under town ordinances, you can go ahead and clear the lot and get it ready for whatever without pulling any permits or anything like that. If you're gonna start putting something in there, ground or build a house, you have to pull a permit and you've got 2 years to complete it.
2 years.
Oh.
3? 1, 2?
2,
2.
Well, that answers that question, in a 2-year.
so.
Wow. In the meantime,
Yeah,
yeah,
Well,
it's a mess.
going back to the weed thing, at least the way I understood it with Greg, is I went and sprayed thistle all over my neighborhood. And the way there's a town ordinance about invasive species, and as long as the lot doesn't have a no trespassing sign on it, we can go on other people's lots to spray weeds. I did it extensively in our neighborhood.
But let me ask,
And that's sort of what we did with the
Knapweed,
the
right?
spotted knapweed.
and I just made a note here, I gotta go to Amos's yard and look at her yard about the spotted knapweed that I sprayed last year. See
Yeah.
what, it's probably gonna be no spraying, I know.
Oh, it's gonna need
Yeah.
another spray, but we can can't we send the World Weeds crews when they come? I assume they're coming?
I gotta talk to Travis, finalize a date. But they don't go on people's,
Yeah, but I would say 90% of that stuff we sprayed was in the road right away.
oh, okay.
They can do all of that, because that was the entire Last Chance, that whole road was covered with
Yeah.
it. Oh, and it was all within the easement. The only
When they
one,
did the water
there was a
line.
couple of, yeah, that one lady's house had, her whole yard was the stuff. We'd have to get, they wouldn't do hers,
Right.
maybe. You know, sometimes they will
Yeah,
go on
they'll
private
spray it.
property. You know,
Yeah.
it just depends on who you get. But even if we still gotta control all that stuff along that whole road that we sprayed last year.
We noticed that last week on the Vista spur, down on Vista, along there where they trenched out the drainage there.
Yeah, it's
is
total
covered with
thistle.
Stuff. Again, they disturb the soil and in come the weeds.
let me ask a
Well, that-
question here. I've got property in a homeowners association, got 4 acres in Idaho. They worked out some deal with the county, and it cost me a grand total of $30 a year to have the full 40 acres sprayed by the county. Is there something that we could work out to where a homeowner can end up getting involved with something like that?
From what Travis was telling us, and just like we're talking now, they don't go on personal property. They just do all the roads and that. And I think that's all they're, supposed to do, or,
Like I said, it's a different county, a different state, but, I mean, 4 acres, $30, have at it,
that's
guys.
the deal, I mean.
Maybe that's
Are
something
we-
you all should look at, like a new,
Are we
Law,
having
rule, or
the
reg or
Mel
something.
Shumway spray?
Well, I gotta give him another call. Now that I guess he's still in business. 'Cause
I don't know, but that's been an annual thing.
Yeah.
Every road in the town has been sprayed on the edge by Shumway.
yeah,
And this is the time to do it, because it's like that spot over by Vista Trailhead. There's probably 500 thistle plants in a
It's just awful.
in a 10-yard stretch.
Yes. They're just thick
And
and,
that's the kind of stuff he will get,
yeah.
because he drives every road in the town and sprays everything invasive in the right of way. You know, about whatever he knows what he's allowed. And I think he does the berms at the Public Works, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't know about
Yes, he
that.
did, yeah.
I'm almost positive he
Yeah, he
does the
did.
berms.
Can we ask him?
Which need to be done every year, otherwise you lose control of them. So yeah, he's gotta be, and if he's not gonna do it, then we gotta hire somebody else.
I would love to see it, like a strengthening of that ordinance about the development lots, so something that they're responsible for this during that 2-year period. Because letting those set in could really affect the whole area around.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
I mean, I don't know if there's something that could be written into that ordinance.
So, on that particular lot, have they dug a foundation or anything, or they just cleared?
No, it's just
Clear.
Clear, and they kind of
They scraped the top off.
scrape the top, they got a nice.
So they killed all the good stuff and now all the weeds take over, yeah.
I mean, 2 years is a long time for a weed development.
But it's on the golf course.
It's right next to the golf course.
Next to the golf course.
Yeah, there's no ordinance in the town that deals with, you can clear your lot off whenever you wanna clear it off. And there's nothing that says you gotta deal with weeds.
But I think there is. There's an ordinance about invasive
On invasive
species.
species, yeah, but it's not specific to if you clear the lot.
No, but it's basically the same thing, right? However the invasive species get on your,
Get there, yeah.
you are responsible, and I think we put in there that we could go on the lot if it doesn't have a no trespassing sign, but if they have a no trespassing sign, then they're responsible, and I think they should be cited. Is that not true?
That would be.
So this lot, if they've got a no trespassing sign, the town should cite them for their weeds.
Contact, Jim. Cause he's the one that can cite him.
There you go.
But I think it's clarity in that ordinance.
Well, it's in there. It's very,
There is invasive weed.
yeah, Greg did all of this. This is not
So-
like rocket science.
What, who's the party responsible for citing them for invasive
Would be
weeds?
Jim.
It's the SMO.
So then do we send an email asking him to
Yep.
please go and take care of this?
Just call him. Call him over to your house and say, like the one that's down here by Vista Trailhead, that's in the town's right away.
Yes,
So that will be handled by Shumway or whoever. That's why we have Shumway do that every year, is for all the road right of ways, because they're terrible. Every time they put a pipe in, you're gonna get thousands of weeds. So-
That kind of stretches now into the big new house there in the
Yeah,
corner.
yeah.
well, so Victor, would that be something that would appropriately come from you to call Jim, or, okay, you
Oh,
already?
no, I can talk to Jim,
Yeah.
I'll talk.
But he doesn't know every place in the town that's like
No.
this. It's incumbent upon people who recognize bad things like that to call the SMO and say, hey,
Just report
yeah, report it. And then,
Does Jim track down, he could be living in.
yeah, the key is that Jim needs to know that we're interested and that he needs to enforce the ordinance. And if it's bad, then he needs to get together with you, because you're the weed guy, and look at it and go, yeah, this is terrible, we can't leave this like this. Either they pay to have it treated, which I know we've done before, like that lot across from my house, I think they ended up paying,
Somebody, yeah.
I think-
I started.
there was
but it
10,000 thistle plants on that
I
lot.
started and
Well-
I said, I can't even get inside of the.
No.
Yeah.
So you think they hired somebody then?
Oh, yeah, they
Okay.
did, for sure.
All right.
And I don't know I don't know if Jim cited him or
Yeah,
threatened to cite him.
okay.
I don't know the answer to
it.
that.
I can tell you that the town now has a new judge, and that judge is handing out fines and
Good.
enforcing stuff. So we are moving forward.
Perfect.
He's pretty funny, he's in Air Force, he's a retired JAG person.
I met him a couple of times.
Yeah,
at
he's very
senior
funny, at
center.
seniors, me too.
Really,
and,
really nice gentleman.
Good, so how do we find out that ordinance? If I talk to Jim, I say, hey, we got a version of this ordinance, can you check out this lot? Does Jim look at that stuff, or is that?
Jim
He
knows
can.
the ordinances, but if you wanna check it, you can go on the town's website, and the ordinances are up there and it's searchable.
Just look under invasive
Invasive
weeds, and then it should pop up. I don't know it off the top of my head, but
I don't either.
I just know because I talked to Greg about it
Yeah.
at nauseam when I was spraying weeds. Because I was trying to find out what I was allowed to do and not do on lots around my house to get the thistle under control, And it worked. I mean, I hit it hard for like 2 years, and there's hardly any there now. It's on a diurnal cycle, I think. Every 2 years, they go crazy. Yeah.
There is a new weed substance out called spruce that they're advertising like crazy. Don't buy it.
Okay.
Some plants, within an hour, you're seeing them die. Other plants, I'm now at 3 weeks, and they're still doing well. Not plants, weeds, excuse me.
Oh, what's it called, the spruce?
It's being promoted because it's human and pet friendly, so you can leave your animals and everything out there. So I bought some to try it, and it's not as good as the other stuff.
No, this is a little bit of a digression, but when Lincoln County comes and brings all their chemical.
Yeah.
So we can get it for cheap there.
No, if we're spraying for the town, and
Yeah.
we do, they'll give it to us.
Okay, so for us spraying things like the berm and Vista Trailhead and this and that, do we have to pay for that or?
He's given us, when I've gone down there twice, and I was telling what we were gonna spray for, he's given us
A good,
no, he just gave it to us.
Oh,
Because we were gonna use it on
excellent.
the town
So-
right away.
it's not something.
But
that
he said it's not for private use, if it's for use
No,
of the
it's
town,
for the town and, okay,
he'll probably give it to us again.
okay, good. So are we all done talking about, the next thing is, to set the main entrance revision sometime in July, that's on the agenda. Larry is gonna go down with me and, on Friday, or it's tomorrow, or Saturday, and we're just gonna weed eat the weeds around, not the plantings, just so that it looks a little better than it does now for next weekend. And,
Thank you for doing that.
oh, it bugs me every time I go by, so it's just got to get something done. And Joanne has the watering schedule. Were you able to put that together, Joanne?
I'm putting it together right now because I couldn't get my computer to print the website today. So you have the first 2 weeks, right? You know,
I have it this week and next week, and
Okay.
this week is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and next week is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Oh, okay, so starting the 28th.
But anybody can do their watering however they want, that's just
Right.
fine.
So you're doing it 3 days a week, basically.
What?
You're doing it 3 days a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, the new trees need, and the heat, and we
Yeah.
can sort of play it by ear next week when it's cooler, but the new trees need water. And we water the apple trees and, just water in general.
Right.
So yesterday I got Ken Crinden.
Oh, yeah, Ken.
He talked to me yesterday.
About apples?
No, he talked to me he said he saw there was still, the bag of bark that around 4 or 5 trees.
There's a lot of bags out there
That are bad,
that we
okay.
left.
Yeah,
So we still have to put them around the trees, right?
And every time we go down there, we try to do 2 or 3 bags,
Well, he said he'd like to come down and help,
Oh,
so.
that's wonderful. He is such the nicest
When-
man.
So just tell him what we're doing is we're deep watering around the tree so that we can pull the grasses and weeds out around it, and then back mulching it. And then we left bags around the whole
That's what
area.
he noticed, that's why he talked to me.
So anything that's not done yet, it's waiting on,
Just deep water, pull the weeds and
and
mulch.
yes.
And
And 1 bag per tree?
Whatever makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Some of them can split between trees,
Yeah.
and some needs a whole bag. It just depends on how big a circle we put around it, so.
Okay,
he's put in those apple trees and they're finally doing better.
yeah.
Are you watering those just periodically?
Yeah,
Or-
I water them every time I go down.
Should we bark those too?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got
sorry.
fences around him, and, I can send him an email and ask him if he thinks it'd be okay. I don't think he wants to move the fences right now because of the deer.
Well, yeah, no, those need to stay.
Yeah,
But I was just thinking,
but yeah,
would water.
I'll just shoot him an email and ask him
Okay.
about that. And I water them, and just as an FYI, Joanne's husband spotted a broad-tailed hummingbird down, and it just visited, and it came and went 2 times and stayed and visited like 10 minutes at a time on the fence. So I hung a hummingbird feeder down there, and we'll see. It came when I was down there on Wednesday. It had visited the feeder. So
Do we want to shade that?
yes.
Okay, Bennett and I have an extra triangle
Oh, do
sale.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
with the hardware, and then we were thinking it might be the best to put it over the entrance and maybe get a hook for the hummingbird feeder.
Yeah, that'd be
Are
great.
you okay with that? Okay.
Yeah, oh heavens, yes. I just thought it was, since he was there and the supply was dwindling for nectar, that it'd
Yeah,
be
no,
nice to
that
have
was,
it.
yeah, but if, okay,
Yeah,
so we'll
that'd be
do that
grand.
sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I just didn't want to shade
And-
anybody's tomatoes in the corner. The
Oh, yeah,
entrance
that's
seems to be
Mr.
the best
Green's
place to go, so.
Corner. And then the other 2 things, I think we can defer till August, because there's nothing we can do about them today, so. That's it for me.
So we're not gonna have a work day in July?
Oh,
No.
we are.
Oh, we're
but
gonna talk about it later, okay.
We have to establish it. Here's your copy, Victor.
Oh,
And just one quick question. For watering, we want to stop halfway through August.
Well, that's the recommendation, and then if we get natural rainfall, or if it gets like 9, then we might water the young trees. But the thought is, from arborists, is that if you water too late in August, the trees stay too juicy, then they can freeze.
Okay,
So that's the reason for cutting it off.
gotcha.
Yeah, does everybody know the update around the first response center over there?
I don't think so, no.
Don't do anything on it. The town is gonna start doing the work on Vista. We're going to be doing it in-house because we got some new equipment that was there. So when we go down and we take the 2 feet of dirt out of Vista as it's going up, it's gonna be stockpiled around the special events center. So that then we can reuse it, and we can use that to fill in the dip up on Vista West. So that's now straight across.
Yeah.
So whatever you were planning around the special events center, move it back at least 1 year.
Okay,
we're
thank
gonna
you.
move the dirt over.
Yep.
so
Then
the
take the
weeds
dirt
grow.
out, put it on there, and then we'll move the dirt back out.
Okay.
Then we can get in and start doing the
Okay.
sprinkler system in the grass. The big cost of that is the hauling the gravel off. We then have to rebuy to bring the gravel back in, so we're gonna beat them on both ends.
There you go.
Wow.
Okay, anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay, Greg?
All right, everybody got a copy of my email, I assume?
I got
Yep.
that.
So yeah, I just delineated all the work days on the trails, trailheads. It's busy month, so yeah. Lots of trail work and trailhead work done over the last month. I'll leave it at that. You guys can't see any of my handouts, so I'll look at it and
I
brief
was
you.
really missing the picture.
I know. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the Green Canyon Complex, we pretty much finished all those trails, that's 2.7 miles. And then Cedar, we've done a little more than a mile of full maintenance, and then another 0.7 of a mile of partial. And then we've surveyed and done tree removal up to about the 3.5 mile point on Cedar. So we've done a lot on Cedar, quite a few days of work. And then tomorrow is gonna be really our first day of trail work on Prater Murphy. Paul Langevens surveyed it for me, so he went up and looked and said it looked in pretty good shape. He went all the way up to the meadow and checked on our sign up there. So it's in generally good shape except for the creek crossings. So, yeah. So yeah, trail work and trailhead work going as scheduled. John Blakely graded the parking lot at Cedar twice in the last month, so he's trying to keep that looking halfway decent. I completed my CPR first aid course that I have to take for the Forest Service.
And you thought you were gonna have to try it out on Saturday.
Why?
If I was gonna pass out.
No, yeah, you were okay. You just needed air conditioning.
Just needed heat. It was so hot.
Yeah, I think I have to do that every 2 years. It's basically a requirement to use the chainsaw in the national forest, so, which is probably not a bad idea.
Do we have one of those little
No, AED?
AEDs?
No, yeah,
They're not all that expensive.
yeah, I thought we might want to, if it would,
With your chainsaw, do you have the blood clotting
I have a,
patches?
whatchamacallit? Tourniquet kit, yeah.
There are a bunch of, came out of the military, because I've got some of them. There are some new bandages that you can put on that are blood clotting. You can wrap around and pull it up tight and it clots the blood real quick.
Yeah, they're trauma bandages. I've got some.
You may wanna,
You want some?
Yeah,
I'll give you some.
okay, there we go, solve that problem.
In
Yeah,
my-
I
in my
assumed I would
medical
use the
kit.
tourniquet.
Yeah, but these are like, how do you spell it? They're next
Yeah.
generation stuff, really
New-
work, so, and quite large, so you could do a leg, or you could do an arm, or whatever.
I'm not planning on doing any of the above, so.
Yeah, we're not planning on doing that.
They're really quick, and you're right, they were developed because of, I think, Iraq, they developed a lot of that.
Yeah, probably IED wounds.
Does
Okay.
Just the AED, does the town have one anywhere, or association by the pool? I'm just
I don't know
curious.
the answer to that.
I doubt there's one by the pool because that would be association. I have suggested the town get some at the workshop, but I don't know whether they did or not.
Do we have one in the town hall?
I don't know. Probably not.
Oh, shit.
I was thinking I'd seen one somewhere,
think I
but
saw
it
one
might have been Jackson.
Yeah, you should have one.
They're not very expensive.
In my first aid course in CPR, that's the first thing you do you
Yeah.
say, dial 911 and get the AED.
Yep.
That's the first thing that comes out of your mouth
Right,
when you've
and
got
they're-
somebody that's compromised.
And they're battery packed, so you
Oh, they're
you could put one with you when you go up the mountain, and we could have one
Yeah.
around. And I think we should try one.
something to consider.
I'm gonna try that.
They're under 1,000.
Do you want me to just continue?
No,
I went down to the Forest Service and got $16, 32 pieces.
Did they all fit?
Yeah,
truck?
yeah.
All right. Yay!
32 pieces, $16 in the back of the Trails truck.
Nice.
So, and I've already used 3 of them because of the damage we did at Green Canyon when we took the tree down. So that was good. Those were free. So Forest Service
We can
had.
use those for the rock rock fencing.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, because that's not on the forest. So I probably shouldn't use those on.
Save them, that's.
Yeah. It's just, it gives us spares, and we've had some damage that we needed an extra buck here or there, and we didn't have them. So they had extras and they offered them to us, so I took them. So yeah, I got them, and they're over by the trail shed. The update from last meeting, I don't know if you guys remember, but the parking lot and the pipe at Green Canyon. So the Avail fixed the parking lot stupendously.
Wow.
And the association removed the white pipe from the trail.
Nice.
So it looked really nice, and now LVI is up there tearing it all up to put another pipe in.
They are?
Yes. Just to,
When the homeowners association put the pipe in, they contacted LVI and said, well, it's dug up, you want to put a pipe in? LVI told them, no way, we don't want to do it. Then they decided to put that and do it, so now the road's being torn up again.
Now, why is that?
well, it's one of their water lines.
Water line down to the golf course.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about it. The Forest Service is involved, and they just, I talked to Kara Purser today, and
Yeah.
they've given them the permit. As far as I could tell, they're not supposed to start digging until next week, but they were having pipe delivered today and doing a bunch of marking and that kind of stuff. So just be advised. So the trailhead looked great for about 2 weeks. And they're gonna move our fence again to get at the, and she said, oh yeah, they gotta put it back the way they found it. And I went, yeah, we'll end up fixing it ourselves, cause if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Let's see, we've had 9 trees removed off of the trails already this year, which is a lot. So
They've been old age trees?
no, it's a mixed bag of everything. So it's, in fact, no, most of it's been, wind down Doug firs. And then we had the leaning tower of pizza tree at Green Canyon.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that here in a second, but yeah, so we've downed 9 we've had 9 down trees that we've taken off the trails, and we've had the 1 leaner at Green Canyon that we've removed. So we've been doing a lot of tree cleanup, just to let you know. That sort of slows down some of our trail maintenance also, but there's nothing you can do about it. That's probably number one thing we have to do is get down trees off the trails. Here's the example. So there's the behemoth.
Oh, my goodness sake, look how big it
Jeez.
is. And what
Holy
do we do
moly.
with those big logs?
Those logs stay on the forest.
Oh, but isn't it and what was the reason for it? Just wind?
Wind,
Wow, monstrous.
It's a beauty,
yeah.
but that's the life of the forest.
I'm impressed with your chainsaw, I got through that.
Yeah.
I am too.
It even looks like straight cuts on both
Yeah, you
sides.
did a good job, didn't you?
I've been trained by the Forest Service.
Yeah, but with a short chainsaw, that's not easy.
That's not easy, no, it was not easy. So, yeah, so a bunch of trees and the leaner. I'll jump ahead on my list here. I don't think you know this yet, but this is convoluted how I found out about this, but you know who Dave lives over there by Bennett. What's his last name? Dave and Bunny?
Dave
Bonnie?
Oh, Dave and Billy.
Mildebrandt.
Yeah.
You know him?
No.
Last
I
year,
probably,
he filled in last year as a trail lead a couple
Yeah,
times.
Oh,
last year.
Dave, yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
the bike for sale, the
Yes,
Decathlon.
yeah, okay.
So
Dave and
he
Billy.
called me, and for some reason, he was talking to Rusty. I don't know whether he had him over at his house working on trees,
Yeah.
or I don't know what he was going on, but Rusty said he's not gonna charge us for the work he did at Green Canyon Trailhead. He's donating.
Oh,
Oh,
So, you probably should talk to him and maybe send a letter or
you
something
need to say thank you,
acknowledging
send a thank you note.
to Rusty
Rusty.
for that work on the
Oh,
forest. Yeah, cause they spent probably 2 hours
at least, yeah, while we're there.
downing that tree for us, and they chopped up all the trunk and everything and limbed it and everything, yeah. So, and today I finished cleaning up the debris, so it's finally back to normal. But yeah, that was good news. I'm going, cause he didn't tell us how much he was gonna charge us,
And,
but we told him we didn't care. It was a safety
Yeah.
thing. It had to come down.
and coming up today, I was thinking about, have we received something from him yet? So, okay.
So it's worth finding
Right,
out
yeah.
for sure, because I got this from Dave. He called me, he left me a message and said, call him, and I called him, that's what he told me. I'm going, that was convoluted, why didn't Rusty call me and tell me
Yeah.
that? So, go figure, I don't know.
Rusty's way.
Yeah, so that's very nice if he did it. I'll pass this around. These are our ambassadors, Jack,
Oh, yeah.
Kara, and Liz are them. The update on them is, they've all worked on the trail crew with me, and I've showed them all the trailheads and, taken them around and given them all the briefing on what's what with our trail system, so.
So he's here and they're over in Pinedale,
Yeah,
the ladies.
he's living in Grover, and the 2 gals are in Pinedale, and they're gonna commute over here when when they come over for ambassador duty.
While you were on that topic,
Yes, sir.
you've been keeping up to date on what's been going on up in Jackson with Friends of the Bridge or Teton, et cetera?
No.
Turns out that somebody has started complaining about public funds being used to be donated to Friends of the Bridge or Teton, because Jackson Hole Travel and Tourism donated a bunch,
Yeah.
and it has blown up pretty big.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've been reading about that too, yes.
Was it like
So,
$500,000 or something?
it was quite a bit of money.
Oh, yeah, they're real money up there.
So, you guys are okay, because you're private, you can donate to them, but I got a bad feeling that the Travel and Tourism Board won't be doing it again.
To the Friends of Bridger Teton. Right.
Yep,
And
What's the rub? I don't understand.
it's public money, and you're giving it to somebody that is,
not public.
yep,
A private
at
group?
least not public as in the town. It's going outside of the town.
Huh.
Yeah, but if anything the Travel and Tourism Board does is gonna go outside the town. If you're gonna pay for somebody to do,
I'm not,
what else are they
not
doing?
disagreeing with you.
What else are
I'm
they
just
doing
saying
with,
it has-
what else are they doing with the money? Because if they're gonna do other stuff with it, I'm gonna complain about
They're
that.
advertising to bring people in.
What's that?
They're advertising to bring people into the area.
Yeah, but where does the money go?
It's used, it goes to advertising agencies.
Well, they're outside the government, so if they're gonna complain about this, I'm gonna complain about that.
Yeah.
You want me to stand up at the town council meeting and go ballistic, that'll cause it.
I'm just, it hasn't hit, it has not officially hit the town.
Well, yeah, but you just said that
Town
you
is
don't
not
expect
running.
them to do it again next year.
Well, that
How can-
depends
how
on how this goes.
Right.
Well,
So,
That's crazy.
wait a minute, I gotta just think this thing through. So somebody in Jackson complained about Friends of Bridger Teton using money that allegedly comes from a public source
Some tax money.
and tax money to do their Friends of the Bridger Teton work. And so now that's kaput, or not
Well,
kaput.
either way.
All I can tell you at this stage is it's making big time news in the area.
Well, 500K is a lot of money, but
Well,
I would like to know. what
it's not any more than our 8,000 is relatively.
No, because our 8,000 was hard to come by.
Yeah.
What's that?
This is a huge area, Bridger Teton.
Yeah.
Well, and, you know, how many millions do you think they take in their travel and tourism board? That's probably a pittance to them.
You also
Oh,
see where they're gonna raise their trend.
They're getting
Yeah,
ready
they're
to
going to
raise
7%.
it
Yeah.
to
They're-
7%
Yeah.
because of the 100,000 square foot mega hotel complex on North Cache. That was in the paper yesterday when I was up there. What a joke.
Oh, well.
But yes, I'll be behind you saying something to the town council.
Well, yeah, I wanna see where they're gonna
Yeah, we
spend
need to know
the
where the
travel
money
and
goes.
tourism money that's not gonna be outside the, cause other than that, you'd have to spend the money only on public, like, the public works.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. It's
Well, then
against
where,
the law.
so where does the money go then if you can't?
No, that's where you guys
It
get
goes to an ad
contact
agency.
with Travel and Tourism Board, because they're trying to spend money on a birthday party for the town and the trails, so get something worked out between the two of them. 'Cause
Well,
it
we
can
could
get one
ask.
whale of a birthday party.
That's the point, is where's the money gonna go? It goes to a business to supply food to some party, or the money is gonna go outside of the town, right?
It just seems like the mission of the Friends of Bridger Teton is to support the Forest Service and the area to do what the Forest Service does.
It's a total win-win.
People
This is
power to do it.
It's a very-
In fact, people power are being cut in their positions, so you have less
We
resources.
might have to-
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous.
Well, keep us advised, because,
They want us to have a really big birthday party, but yet we can't do anything like useful with the money. Okay.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
They're open to suggestions, if you want to put some event on or something in the town,
Let them know.
contact, because they got money.
Okay.
I make a lot of snide marks for each other.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
actually talking about birthday parties, and I'm not gonna do it.
So okay, when is the birthday party again? I just need a reminder.
That-
September?
You know,
They are talking about sometime in September, but it is to the point of where zip is being done. Because
Oh, fun.
they're waiting for you to contact them and you're waiting for them to contact
wait,
you.
what?
Well, we were gonna
Yeah.
we were gonna coincide.
Yeah.
Because the trails, how, 15? 10 years. And the town's 20? What's the town, 20?
So we were gonna have a joint.
Well, we were just thinking we dovetail on what they
Yeah.
were doing. But they're waiting for us to contact them? Yes, as far as you know, okay.
Last I heard, it was still up in the air and they don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Who do I talk to?
Put my phone in the car. Chair of the tourism board,
Oh, okay.
Should be able to find out.
Yeah, it's on the website.
Who is that?
he does tours through Yellowstone, so he might be a little tough to get
This time.
in contact with at the moment.
What's the?
Is that the
what
guy
was the
that
rough
lives
date
down
of
on
September?
Hardman?
September, sometime first
I
part
know
of
Greg and Shirley are coming.
Do you know who that is?
September.
Greg?
Oh,
Craig,
maybe.
that
So that
Yellowstone
coincides.
guy,
I
you
don't
know?
I don't remember.
I
I,
think he's
Yeah.
down here on
He lives
Hardman.
right up here, I think.
Yeah.
Is that it for trails?
no,
Wait, no, because when I came to the meeting that Trevor had, it was the board chairs. But if I remember right, he wasn't there, the tourism guy wasn't there, yeah. Okay,
So you were short the water board chair and the tourism chair, huh?
it was,
Because I know the water board chair was not there.
okay, anyway, I'll give him a call and try to contact him. Okay,
yeah, so our 10-year anniversary is 5 September. So 10 years ago on 5 September was when they did the ribbon cutting at Green Canyon Trailhead. I gave you guys a copy of that article. And we had proposed doing something to,
Celebrate.
So we've
Yeah.
been doing Arbor Day longer than the NRV's existed.
probably,
Okay,
Yeah, because that was your 15th one.
yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's right around when Greg's.
yeah, they're coming in September, yeah.
I think it's early September, so if there's anything that
I
happens.
think I emailed him
Okay.
that we were thinking about doing this, but in one of my communiques with Greg, I sort of invited him, but I didn't, because I didn't know if we were gonna do it for sure, but yeah. So can I assume you're gonna at least talk to them? Yeah,
yes,
yeah, and we had discussed maybe doing, I don't know, there's all sorts of stuff you could do out there, but you know, you would need some sort of just celebration with food, drink, have maybe a hike, a race, you could do all sorts of stuff in the Green Canyon complex, very easy stuff for kids.
You could have a dog walk.
Yeah, you could have a dog walk, I mean, there's 10,000 things we could
Oh,
do.
that would be fun.
Sort of like they do in Alpine where for their winter days, you know, but you could just do it in September, but I don't know, depends on whether you wanna do it or not.
no, we would like to do it, just,
By then, I'm exhausted, so. The end of the summer, so. Yeah, the last thing on the trails is garage sale. So did everybody got a copy of this? So I have, Deb Lajeunesse has signed up, and I got an email from you.
Yeah. You
Yes.
signed us up?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. You want me to
I
put my
will,
name down, or how does that work? Because I couldn't find a timesheet. Maybe you had one that, you know, a slot where I could just put us in.
yeah, well, yeah, just decide on looking at that, where you wanna put in.
Do you want me to write my?
No, I've got you down already. So for those of you who are gonna be here, most of you guys are here a lot of the time anyway, but I sort of need to pick a few key places where, you know, we're really busy, like set up on Friday morning and tear down on Saturday and large item pickup on Thursday morning, you know, all that kind of standard stuff. So pick 1 or 2 or 3 of those and sign up for them. And then if you wanna come more than that, we're willing to have you. But I sorta need to know where I'm, before next week, where I've got coverage and where I don't. So then I'll send out another email saying, hey, we don't have anybody for this shift, this shift, this shift, that kind of thing.
On Tuesday and Thursday.
And I'm good Thursday to do
So-
pickups
Do you need the trailer?
and Fridays.
Yes, I texted Larry and said
Oh,
I'd
okay.
pick it up Saturday afternoon.
Did he tell you the woe was me story about that?
He hasn't told me yet, but I saw the, so large item pickup, is that what you said, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, I can do Thursday, Friday,
And then
Saturday.
did you have,
Yeah,
did you
and
have-
Monday, we're gonna slip this in.
So
Sorry.
you have me down for the
Monday.
10th Monday.
oh,
And
I
then
forgot, I put,
I could be,
I need to put
Monday,
Larry down for
Thursday,
10 pickup for the
I can
10
do
setup.
every day 4 to
Yeah,
7.
Larry's name.
I can do that.
On Larry
You
already
don't-
for Monday,
You don't
the
need to do
10.
every day,
Got
just
it.
pick,
Okay.
Okay,
pick 1 or 2.
well,
Wednesday, I don't have anybody yet, so let
okay,
me
we
put
do
you down there.
Wednesday, 4
Yeah.
to 7, and Thursday, 4 to 7.
Okay,
On Friday,
Yeah, Wednesday,
setup starts at
I'm busy till 3 o'clock, and then so those 2 days,
8 a.m.
so I've
And
got
then-
you down Wednesday, Thursday, 4 to 7,
Yeah.
and Monday for tent
10,
set.
yeah.
Okay,
And we are doing it at the same location?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
let me state the obvious, the area coming out of the first response center, it's gotta be clear all the way down.
Yeah, always keep it clear.
Did you decide, should we arrange for sandwiches for the volunteers?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay, well, you let me know.
Okay.
And I'll help you with that. And then, well, never mind, I have another question, but I'll ask it to you personally.
So Rick, I've got Rick down for Monday and then Thursday, large item pickup, okay?
Yep.
Ben, sign Ben up for that too.
Large item pickup?
Yeah, and he'll be there to help set up the tent.
And
Yeah, he already said yes for the tent setup.
You can come on the large, tell me he's gonna help pick up the large items.
He's coming, he's
Yep.
coming.
Yep.
I don't have very many signed up yet, I've got a couple, but speaking of that, well, I'll talk about that here in a second,
Do you have a
let me,
trailer for the pickups?
yeah, I'm borrowing Larry's trailer, yeah.
which we will have the, well, no, you'll have to come pick up the cedar chest
Yeah.
when you're out and about sometime. But I polished it up so it looks nice.
Good. So is anybody available for Friday morning? That's our busiest
Yeah.
session.
Bennett and I will be there.
Well,
So-
I'll be there. Put me down on
I'll be there.
Bennett
Friday
and
morning.
Joanne,
And I'll be Friday afternoon,
Deb and Larry
yeah.
and Victor.
Yes.
I'm just getting Friday covered. Are you gonna do Friday morning? Yes?
Give me a second. Yes, sir. There you go.
And what was your second one?
Weeds.
I'll do Friday all afternoon too.
There is a lot
Might
that
as well.
has a bunch of
I'll just
weeds
stay
on it.
till 2, and then
Inspected.
Saturday,
And
for
cider.
cleanup, and Saturday afternoon.
It's,
Invasive weeds.
it's on last chance.
So I just put you down from
Is it an
11 to 2 on
Yeah, we
Friday.
have to
Yeah.
find- I have to find out who
Saturday,
the
I'm
owner of the
gonna
property
put you
is,
down for,
and
Larry will
send
help
some
clean up
information
too.
that they're usually pretty good about it, if I call them on it, or else it just sits like that, so. I have a bunch of them,
2 to 4:30 on
I
Saturday,
mean,
okay?
do you know what
And you
you're
can,
talking
you
We'll
can
be
be
there
there, you can be there as much as you want, but as long as I've got
Last chance?
the schedule covered, then
Okay.
I'm coming.
And then
Just before
where you
the-
will have somebody
it's the second
appointed to do the cash box.
I'm doing the cash
By the,
Good.
And then I'll get somebody to
Yes.
verify
Can
it.
you kind of point it out for me,
Well, no, I meant to, take the money.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cause I have no
So
idea
you'll be
where the
doing the
greens
taking.
are,
Okay,
who's
good.
got a hole.
And then we'll have some stuff will be marked, and then
Here's,
we'll price
This is Middle Branch, this is
spot
last
it
year.
It's
after
this
that,
one right.
yeah, there's
like
not,
we did last year.
just like we did last year.
Okay.
Anything that's high
Oh,
value,
right
we'll keep
above
it up
it,
at
There's
the
a
front
house
desk,
here, there's
and
another lot.
everything else, it's
Here.
just move
They came in and
merchandise.
they
Yeah.
cleared it.
I'm really bummed I'm
Level it out
going to a
and
wedding.
everything.
It's okay.
Where is the wedding?
Year and a half ago.
Yeah, right.
Hyattville?
Okay, yep. I'll
In
get you it.
Maryland.
It's
Not a
by
problem.
ten.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome,
Oh,
sir.
10
Hey,
Sleep
Jim.
over that way. Oh, wow.
Hey, buddy.
Just
Well, what?
speaking of the
are
weeds
you
and stuff,
driving?
last year,
You've got, is it a fancy
you know the lot
affair?
across
No.
from me,
Is that a
the
ranch?
one where the
Yes,
creek
yes.
runs
Uh-huh.
out? Did you,
Yeah, I sent him one.
But I like doing
I didn't know
It's
this.
fun too.
They took care of it, but we didn't, I didn't,
Yes.
cause we were trying to take care of it,
Uh-huh.
and it was just
Yeah.
overwhelming.
And all of a sudden, somebody came
And
and,
so all of a sudden, it looked like some
They won't be
professional
getting
came
married
and just
next year.
totally
Yeah.
killed everything.
yep,
That
was me.
Are you listening to this?
Yeah, I'm listening.
that was me.
So,
And that's all you gotta do is just call the owners. I mean, let me know.
Well, yeah, but
And
we
I
don't
call
know.
the owners and I
And
mean,
what did they-
I
what did-
can go around here and find 50 or
what-
60 of them.
What did they do? Did they pay for a service
Yes,
to come and kill?
absolutely.
So you basically said,
Need
hey,
to have
you've
it,
got,
you
you've
need
got
to eradicate
invasive weeds on your property, it needs
That's
to be
right.
taken
You
care of.
eradicate them, exactly.
Yes.
And that's all
That's the way
you,
it's
that's
supposed to
all.
work.
yeah,
I mean, but you're gonna get a lot of pushback from
Oh,
people
well,
that
yeah.
just don't care. And there's nothing I can technically do about it other than, you know, try to persuade them and talk to them and, you know, and saying, hey, you know, this is a good thing for your community and blah, 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 blah.
If they don't care and they don't want it done, are they,
They're not in violation, really.
they're not in, so there's not an ordinance
It's
that
not
says?
considered noxious
Come up and get it if-
or a nuisance. Yes, I can look it up and I can almost guarantee you, yeah, I have nothing in my ordinances about it.
Did you hear it's supposed to freeze?
huh,
There is an invasive,
I know.
Just
Weed
watched
ordinance.
all.
Where's that at?
old content
Oh, yeah,
sheets.
it's there, Greg talked about it all the time, I don't know what the number is, but
Washed them from the
Well, how are you supposed to be
put them away.
teaching
I
me,
have to
man?
clean them out. I got problems.
he's the weed
How did I
guy.
deal with all time?
Truthfully, I went.
I'll look it up, and if in fact it is that way,
And if it's not that way, we need to know, because we need to have the town council make it that way.
yes, correct. Okay.
Otherwise,
But that's-
we're spinning our wheels,
I just did an
running around town.
evaluation, I just did a self-evaluation, okay? And I told them, I says, I think that what the town is on the right track, but they need to modify these ordinances and that and update them, because they're so outdated, there's, you know, I mean, there's so much, frivolous garbage that's in it.
Yeah.
You know, that needs to be cleaned up and that, you know, I thought American Eagle was gonna do it, you know, or Legal, I thought they were gonna do it and that, you know, but all they did was rip a bunch of them out, you know, kind of thing, you know, so. But anyways, I'll take a look at that also, right?
Okay,
thank
All right.
you, Jim.
And I'll let you know, okay?
thank you.
Let me know. too.
Okay, all right, yeah,
Particularly-
not then, right?
Yeah, I'm too busy. Got it, thanks guys. Okay, so, let's see, what else did I wanna say about the trails, the garage sale?
no mattresses. What are we not taking? We're not taking mattresses.
We generally, we don't take clothes
And
except,
not taking clothes.
except for like hiking, goods,
Gear.
really, really good. Last
Like
year,
ski stuff.
yeah, well, last year we had all sorts of good stuff that sold, like, it was unbelievable how it sold. So you just have to be discriminating.
Okay.
What we ended up what we had at one point is we had people dropping off boxes with all their t-shirts and underwear
And we do
and that
not
kind of.
want that at all.
No,
Well, but they're
Okay.
dropping it off like
Oh, here's a bunch of
at
stuff.
10 o'clock at night.
Oh.
yeah.
We've seen people drop stuff off
So,
late.
so it's, nothing is perfect. So,
Okay.
but if somebody's got some nice stuff, jackets, that kind of, we
Yeah.
take it and we hang it in the tent. We sold a lot of stuff last year
We
of
did.
nice clothing. And we just don't wanna have boxes of stuff that we end up taking to the dump or to DI,
Yeah.
you know?
So,
So-
no personal clothing except for outdoor gear.
And, yes.
Yes.
Buying good stuff.
Unless
No
it's really
shoes.
nice stuff, yeah. Well, we've taken like hiking shoes and boots and stuff
Well,
because they
yeah,
were
but
like,
that's
they were
outdoor
like in
gear.
pristine condition.
Yeah, that's
know?
outdoor gear. But what about, and what about bedding? Like
No.
linens
Yeah, we did
and
have a bunch
no
of that last
towels
year.
and none of that stuff.
Not unless it's
No.
like new,
Yeah.
And from Ralph Lauren or somewhere.
yeah. Just be
Before we
discriminating.
send them to,
If it's a Louis
they do
Vuitton
have
handbag.
bedding and that kind of stuff. You could
Yeah,
suppress the animal
that-
shelter, right?
Yes, and that's what we've done with a lot of it, is we just turn it over in blankets and things like that. We give
Towels.
it, Susie takes it to Lucky's,
Lucky's.
you know?
Oh, so it is okay or no? Well,
it's
that's just in a
when-
worst case.
When people show up with it,
Okay.
you know, sometimes we just take it and we recycle it to Lucky's.
Okay.
you know, because we have people that are involved with that too, so.
Okay,
Well, that's a good use of that sort of stuff.
Yes, it is.
People's undies know.
Yeah, oh, I got a call, just so you know, you know, I'm not gonna advise you on everything I'm doing for the garage sale, because I get calls from people all the time with,
Ladies and gents, you were absolutely correct, okay? I will get into that, okay?
Okay.
thank you. A guy called and he has 2 organs.
Orchids? like
Organs.
Oh, organs. Oh, my goodness sake. And he wants to donate them to us?
Yeah.
Maybe, that's a
Wait, wait a
joke.
minute.
Tell him.
Small organs
No.
or big?
Hold on a second. I've
Oh,
got-
my
There's the
goodness.
little ones.
Victor needs
There's
to
little
take those
ones
for
and
the
then there's
church.
big ones.
I would call these medium sized.
Okay.
Don't you want one, Victor, for the
But,
church?
so,
They're heavy.
Yes, they are.
yeah, I'll pass this around, you guys can look at it. I have not looked at them yet, he told me they're in good working order, and he told me, he found us somehow, I don't know, he lives in Salt Lake, but he has a house here too.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, they're here, and he said if, he was getting ready to take them to the dump. So, I said, no, we'll try to move those, even if and then I was talking to Trevor and Zach, and both of them said, oh, I'll take one. I said, because I was saying to them, they're not worth, if you go on, I've already researched them and gone online, they're Yamahas, they're from like the 70s, so they've been around a long time. And when you look at them for like antique or what are they worth, I see a lot of people are just trying to unload them. They're not worth a whole bunch, is the impression my casual 15-minute search gave me. So all of a sudden, when I was talking to Trevor and Zach, I don't even know how the subject came up. They both said that they would pay for one of them. I said something to the effect that I don't care if I only got 50 or $100 for them. You know, it's one of these things where he's gonna take them to the dump, and if we can get some value out of them, and they both said they wanted them.
Well,
So,
That's a quick sale.
That's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
so I don't get to see them until this Wednesday of the sale week, so I won't.
Them to pick them up.
So if you
yeah,
want,
couldn't they just go directly from their house?
well, they
to-
said they would.
Okay.
Wow.
Both Trevor and
They
Zach.
were taking this to the dump.
Yes.
That's what I took organ lessons on as a kid.
Look at that.
Yeah, right?
And I asked him, and he said they're in really. If you look at the picture,
exactly what
they're
it
in
was.
they're in really good condition. And from what I can tell, I've got 4 pictures,
Victor,
and
don't you want one for the
I don't-
church?
Look at those
I don't
petals.
see much.
Do you need an organ?
Well,
I don't see much, marring or anything.
Well,
They-
no, they look
Trevor
like
and
but I
Zach
haven't.
have
I
first
actually
dibs.
havened gotten my hands on it yet, and
Let us see.
Yeah, we want to
yeah.
see.
So that's
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
kind of stuff I get. So.
One for her life. I'd take one for her. Oh,
You'd have to fight Trevor for it now, you'd have to overbid Trevor.
Yeah. Is
Wow.
that in a house there? Oh dear. But it looks, oh,
A bidding war on the
No.
donated organ.
no.
Larry would kill me.
Oh, no, I can't, don't worry. I would never, I know how far I can go with something, and that's a bridge too far.
wow, that is.
Oh, that's a pretty picture.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So,
beautiful.
I just need to make sure, I've been doing this for years, obviously,
go.
and I'm getting stuff all the time, unusual things, crazy things, and we try not to, I don't know, be parochial in how we manage it. But I just figured we need to be careful on how I'm doing it. So if I'm gonna sell it to somebody, like, in this case, when I mentioned it to these guys, they both showed interest in it, and I'm going, oh, wow, I don't have to move these, because they said they'd go pick them up, and I went,
Oh, they're gonna go. pick them up.
that's,
You can just
That's grand.
which we do anyway, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I've got people who have mattresses they're trying to sell, Debbie's got them, she's trying to sell them online for them. And we can get the benefit from selling them, and then we don't end up having the mattress sitting out in the dust at the garage sale, which is, we've been trying, except unless it's Joanne's mattress. So, yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
And then the one big item that we have, do you know much about, I know he found that the gearbox was shot, pretty much. So we've got this Honda snow blower, a pretty nice one.
Oh, yeah.
And the motor runs, the auger runs, but it's a hydrostatic. And there's like a gearbox associated with the hydrostatic system on it. And it is shot, so we would have to replace it. And so is it something, the thing's probably worth, when I looked it up, used ones were selling for like $1,800 if they're functional. So that it's a pretty valuable machine, but it's not worth much if it doesn't move, the hydrostatic motion part of the system. So the question is it worth paying, or at least investigating paying to have maybe a shop fix it and make it totally functional and then sell it for $1,800?
Did Larry tell you how much the
No.
guy down in Afton, he went down? and
Oh, he
talked-
did ask. Oh, no. What did he say?
The man said he worked on one last year, and Larry told him about it, because the deal is that little pin thingy broke off and it went into the
Into the
gearbox.
gearbox, yeah.
And so
So
the
you just need-
gearbox has to be replaced and the pin and everything, and the guy said he wouldn't touch it for less than $1,400.
Okay.
What it would cost to replace it. So then
Then
you'd
you're-
have to have at least $1,400 plus another $400 or $500 to do it. And so that's your decision.
So we can just sell it as is.
Sell it as it is.
Well, Larry, I'll have to kind of, it's a part in our garage, so he has
I'm
to,
just put it together and we'll just say as is.
okay, I'll tell him.
Quad runner.
If it's gonna be that much.
That seems to be a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
what would you want to sell it for as is?
Of just anybody that'll give me anything for it.
Okay, well, okay.
Just take whatever.
Take whatever.
And you know, our clock,
What's that?
our,
Need to move it out to the sale or just do it?
Yeah, we'll move it out. We'll move it out to the sale because you'll get more casual traffic that people will look at it. We'll just be right up front and tell them that, hey, this thing's got a hydrostatic gearbox failure.
It's marketing. If you got a quad runner, you just put this thing on it, the motor and the blower still works. Just bring it on the quad runner and move it around.
Let's see, let me look
So-
at my list.
on our, the 2 items left over from last year,
Yeah.
the clock,
Yes.
the most we could get for that clock would be around $100. And what it needs is to have, there's something in the works that causes it.
So we'll sell
It's out
that,
of balance.
we'll sell
but-
that as is.
As is, but I
Just
don't
bring
think
it.
we should give it away, not
Oh,
for
we
like
don't have-
20 bucks.
We don't have a choice.
So, okay.
Otherwise, it sits at your house for another year.
Yeah, I don't want it in my
Okay,
house.
so
And
no,
then,
it's gone.
It's a garage sale.
If it's not functional, we can't get top value. And
no, it's
If
functional,
it
but
was
somebody
functional and you
needs to
could
take
get
it in.
you could get $1,000 for it.
Oh, no.
Then maybe it'd be worth fixing it.
No.
It's just one of those deals where let somebody else deal with it.
We have to take it to a clock man,
Yeah.
and there is not one, so
Yeah, we'll
It's
just,
not relevant,
we'll just
so-
sell it as is and we'll
Okay.
get something for it instead of it sitting around.
sitting around.
Same thing with the
Somebody might
chest.
buy it just to
We'll get
look
something
at
for
an
it.
old
Yeah.
clock, you
Yeah,
know?
Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, I'll probably, in a couple of days, I'll put out an email that shows who's working when, like I did last year.
That'd be really
And
helpful.
I will,
Thank you.
Oh, it's-
yes,
oh, so, whatever you need on Friday, Saturday,
Could you-
I'll do.
Maybe on each of the times we put that out, we'll put like your ideal number for those times, like I can talk to neighbors and stuff to see what the steps will look.
yeah, I can do that. Especially if I'm not getting enough response, but generally we end up with enough people, so, yeah. That's why I wanted you to pick some specific times, and then I can have a schedule, and then, because most of you guys come a lot anyway,
It's
Yeah.
10 days out,
Yeah.
so you'll get more people.
I'll get more people. I'm getting them all the time, so, okay, and then,
Craig, I had one other
Yes.
trails note, just, because it was in my notes from before and I forgot to mention it on the list of projects and stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe I talked to you about this before. Remember last winter, especially snowshoeing back up Cedar Creek, the little Russ's Rock kind of area, just before the spruce? Is that, in the winter, in that trail, it just dips down so far, and even with technical snowshoes, it's a technical crossing. Is there any way we could build something over that would be easier to pass?
Yeah. We could have something that we keep off to the side and we just throw it in there in the winter, like.
Snow's gonna cover it, but it'd be something that, we literally, like, you could fall right into that. It's not like Cedar Creek, but it's a steep drop.
Yeah,
And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, or a really big step across,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like a vast jump to get across it, so it stays open because that little stream is warm enough to keep it open. It's on the list
yeah.
of many, many, many things.
Let me add it to my list.
In the interim, can I just start passing around the water schedule? I wrote
Yep.
down the first day of each week that we need, so if you sign up for a whole week, I would be there watering maybe 3 days a week.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll fill in wherever people can't come. Can I start with you or should I wait?
Better wait.
Okay. Taylor, you feel like watering trees?
I guess not.
Oh, and when you water the trees, try to remember to do the tree that got blown over by the wind. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
The big fir tree?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, we
because
watered
it
that.
obviously lost root integrity when it got blown
Right,
over,
right.
so it'll die if we don't keep it
Okay.
really
Yeah,
wet.
Larry watered it. The other thing is, Joanne had requested additional hose down, in the alley there, so we didn't have to drag hoses back and forth. So Larry got a T, and, he's gonna go down tomorrow. We got an extra hose and a T, so you can just turn the water on for that length. The hose will be there, and then you turn it off, and we have a hose up by the gardens.
Okay.
You're not dragging hoses.
All over the place.
Yeah, I hate that. I do that
That's
in
the
my
hardest
own
thing
yard.
to do,
It's just-
yeah.
Let me see.
I'll have to come and follow somebody around.
You can come sometime when you come back from your vacay,
Just text
your
them.
wedding trip.
Okay.
And you're gonna take care of our hummingbird friend?
Yeah, then and now.
Oh, that'd be
How
nice.
we can make that work.
Okay.
Has there been a date set yet for the second Firewise pickup?
Yes. It's in August sometime,
August,
but it has been said, it should be on the calendar.
Liking that?
This is good. The mango, tangerine, guava, strawberry.
160 milligrams of caffeine.
It's mother's milk to me. I drink coffee all day long, and I can drink it right before I go to bed and go to sleep. It's just never bothers me.
There are versions of that that are 240.
Versions of Rockstar, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It wakes you up well.
Yeah.
By the way, Craig, thinking about the sale, if we have stuff left over, I know we donate a lot of stuff down in Afton and different places. If there's anything else fabric-wise, I know up in Teton County, they do recycle the fabric stuff.
They what?
They recycle fabric.
Like clothes?
Clothes or drapes, things like that.
And most of that stuff, I just take it to DI.
If they take it, great, but if there's stuff like,
They've never turned us down.
All right.
They've always taken everything that we've taken over there. Yeah, they're the easiest.
Okay.
Cause they, I don't know, their process for dealing with that, the volume of stuff they go through is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it's just,
Well, if it works, great.
you just
Yeah.
pull up and
Yeah,
they take it and give you your paper.
yeah, preferably we don't do that much of it, but, it's never gonna happen where we don't have a sale where we have stuff we don't take. Trying to think of what else.
I think Teton County Recycling also does electronic stuff too, so again, if they
Yeah.
can't donate it to another place besides Idaho Falls, we a little bit closer.
Well, the last place that Paul and I took electronics,
That was in Idaho Falls.
or Idaho Falls,
Yeah, they'll take electronics, but you gotta pay them to take TVs.
yeah, now you have to pay them,
Pay them for TVs.
yeah.
It's not, if it's stereo stuff, they'll take it for free. But it's, if it's flat panel TVs, they must be having trouble recycling. It's costing them more than they're getting out of it.
Right.
So they've started charging a fee for flat panel TVs.
The only other thing for, I'm sorry. The only
Yes.
other thing for garage sale was, last year we talked about, at 10 in the morning on Saturday, doing $10 bags, like fill a bag for $10.
On Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, do we still wanna do that? They got we got rid of a lot of stuff that
Yeah,
way.
Do we want to do it at 10 or like at noon?
10 for 10.
I think 10.
10 for 10.
10 for 10.
10
We
for
gotta
10.
Okay, I've got a truckload of paper sacks. that-
Oh, you do?
Oh, yes, because that's all I get at the grocery store is paper sacks. So I'll bring them and we can
Okay, because
hand
we
them
need
out.
bags is what we need. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you just answered my question. All right.
Yeah, something like that, or boxes, or anybody,
Whatever we have around.
whatever we have.
Put stuff in.
Yeah,
Yeah, but 10 for 10 is a good thing.
Okay.
yeah, and generally, I mean, yeah, it's okay.
And there weren't very many,
And-
what I remember from last year is there wasn't that many, I mean, it had kind of, the crowd had thinned out, so people, but when you offered that to people, they like lit up,
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like, what a good deal. It's like,
right? And it just gets
yeah,
stuck
anything
everywhere.
to get it out so we don't have to
Yeah.
deal with
Well,
it.
and they went around and picked, off different tables so they could spot and stuff that they wanted to. So,
Was this all yours or was it Craig's?
And it's not mine,
It's probably mine.
though the top thing is mine.
Yeah, it's multiple things, it's my, yeah.
And then I'll just send out an email reminder when it should
Okay.
be, the Friday before.
Did you get enough?
Yeah.
It's all filled in?
Mm-hmm.
What else was I gonna talk? So, we already talked about the mulching of the trees.
Yeah.
The watering and making sure we get that big tree on the other
Yeah,
side.
thanks for saying that.
So with the hose change, are we able to reach all the way down on the west side of the?
Yeah.
Cause that was a problem
Yeah.
at Arbor Day.
yeah.
So that's
you'll be
that's
able to
okay
do
now?
that. And
Okay.
Larry was gonna fix the wand, but he said he thought it worked better just with the little, the end piece and not the long thing.
Not the long thing.
So he said, I think this is a better watering system. So
Fine.
that'll be at the end, for watering.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the hoses across the road in the conifer grove reach across to that tree.
They do
To the
make it,
effort.
I figured they would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the, Taylor, just so you know how we're paying the guy to do the mowing and the trimming around Canine Commons, the Conifer Grove and all that, but we have not been having them do along the road, because the town supposedly is,
At least up in my side.
they haven't touched it at Fox Run Park.
It'd be really nice because it's
It
really.
would
You
be
know,
nice for this
basically where
weekend
those
for it
trees
to be
are.
nice.
All along the road that goes into Public Works, that hasn't been touched all year.
Okay.
It also hasn't been touched, the entrance to the town. Just historically, I've seen town workers doing
Yeah.
that. So if they're not gonna do it, then it's something we can
I'll
pay,
check with that.
we can pay to have the guy do it. But when we talked about this, we were told not to do it because the
Because the
town was
town
gonna
would
do
do
it. Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that? Yeah, so, and now it's not getting done.
Yeah, I know they have mowed the right away in one of the streets around my house.
Yeah, they mowed around all the streets, they did that, but they didn't do,
They missed that one, huh?
well, historically, they've done it with a weed eater, not the mowing. Because it's a berm that has trees in the middle of it, and it's that whole entrance to Fox Run Park on both sides.
all
Yeah,
the way down to where you park.
Yeah,
And then,
and we can have the guy do it if you want us to, but
Let me check with Zach.
check, just see what they want, if they wanna, yeah, cause if the guy's there doing it, it probably wouldn't take him an extra hour.
it would look nice too if they could get between here and here on the street, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Yes.
Yeah, I just noticed it hadn't been done at all this year.
Yeah.
And by speaking of that, even though we're not doing the front entrance cleanup, if you were gonna do spraying weeds,
yeah.
the,
Probably do that.
the rock, where the weeds grow in
Yeah.
the rocks down here, we've always done that.
We've always done that.
When we did the front entrance cleanup, but since we didn't do it, it hadn't been done. So maybe add that onto that day when you do the Fox Run Park spraying. Yeah, and if you need, just let me know if you need help. Just make an extra batch and I'll do
Well-
it.
And when we
Okay.
go down tomorrow or Saturday, we'll get it just, in the main entrance area, not on the avenue. And then that'll make it easier for you to see what day we spray.
You got a lot to do, Vic.
Mostly breathe,
Huh?
mostly breathe.
Mostly breathe, yeah, breathing lessons.
Okay, so, when do we wanna start?
Well,
Front
I
entrance.
think after, let me get my.
Well, after 4th of July.
After the 4th of July and let people let me get my calendar
I've
out.
gotta run, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
And, thank you. So, what do you think, how much time do we need to wait after the 4th? Do we want to do it on a day when Trails is
On the what?
working? I beg your
What
pardon.
was that?
Do we want to do it on a day when Trails is working and make that a trail work day or just NRB?
It's gonna, NRB.
Okay,
Cause the
so
trail
then,
they're gonna be doing,
we could do the 14th of July, how about that?
We just have to make sure that Phil's here, right?
Oh, that's
That's
right,
right.
yeah, where in the world is Carmen, where's Phil?
Got it.
Carmen Sandiego.
Let's say the 14th and get with
You
Phil,
want me to send him I'll
Yeah.
send him an email.
see if the 14th looks good.
I'm still gone then, so if he's gone, we can do another day. Or I can come another day.
I'll send it to you and him.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there, okay? So we'll shoot for the 14th, and then do we want an alternate date?
Why don't we talk to him? And find out, 'cause
Yeah.
He camps for weeks at a time, so
Yeah.
he's.
And that's
not
what
always
I'm
in town.
doing, I'm gone for a whole week camping then.
Well,
But
That's okay.
I wanna help if it works for him, we'll figure it out.
okay.
You can camp out at the front entrance.
Yeah.
You can be there every day.
Just set up there. We can get you some electrical and,
Oh, we don't have that where we can.
where are you going?
The big and Sheridan.
Okay, so do that and then,
I'll do it today, so you can
Okay,
look for it in the
okay.
email. And then after we hear from him, then we'll decide
Yeah.
what to do after that, okay?
okay, so that's it. So I think we discussed this last month, but no meeting in July.
It is on town calendar, so you may want to make sure it gets pulled from that.
Oh, okay. And then, August 21st, third Thursday of the month,
Yep,
2:00.
okay.
And I know you told me already when you're
Well,
not gonna be.
I don't know what the schedule
Okay.
is, so I'll be here or I won't, but I'll call in.
Okay. All right. And,
That'll give us time to plan for the birthday party
Yeah.
in September, right? If we
yeah,
plan on that
as soon as
day.
I talk to the chair of the tourism
Okay.
board.
I'd
We
say
better-
if you talk to them and there's a set date, nail it down with Greg and Shirley, because
Oh, yeah, yeah.
they're coming here, they're coming for a cousin.
Cousin, yeah.
Again, so.
All right, that's
Okay, I
it.
move we adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, aye, aye.
Aye.
All right. Turn that off or?
Oh, yes.
Gotta come get the cooler, huh?
Are you ready to? Okay.
Something happened
You're
here.
leaving, I'm leaving.
Did you rate a clicker?
I sent them an email,
Oh,
because they're in Idaho, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's,
Oh, that's it.
maybe it's a
What's your
double
name?
click.
Rick.
Rick, I'm Jim. We're gonna
What's
speak.
that?